Cool.
You're sitting in your usual spot.
My usual spot. This is it. This is my little
Yeah,
prison cell.
sporting your usual beard.
Nothing's changed. Just like always. It's always been like this, as you know.
That's
So
it.
it's
That's it.
there's
How
never
it?
been anything else except just this
Yeah,
sitting in this room with you, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, how do we miss this?
I was pretty good at missing it, I think. I had a, I had a unique talent.
Me too. I know. But when you kind of realize it's like, how do we anyway? Yeah. So what's
You're
happening?
crazy. Oh no, I just wanted to check in.
Yeah,
Let's give you the
it's been a
update.
little while. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I talked to you like February or March, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
No, maybe it was January, February, something like that.
yeah. I think I was in
But
Australia. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, where are you now?
I'm in Belgium, Brussels.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think I remember the last thing you said to me, you said just this. You were like,
Mm,
just this, Jim, just this, right?
mm.
But it was actually, I remember the date, which is rare. I don't remember anything, but I just happened to look. But it was February 28th, last day of February. Somewhere around there, I was in like a group, it was a Thursday. And there was a little group meeting that Fred has. Fred Davis is the non-dual guy.
Oh, in the States. Yeah, I know of
Yeah,
him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. He's a nice guy. He's a funny guy.
yeah.
Piece of work, piece of work.
Mm,
But he speaks the truth, which is what mattered, you
mm,
know.
mm.
Um, and so I was on a group call, maybe 4 or 5 people, and Fred was doing some type of like guided, sense of being type thing. And I
Uh-huh.
was on a work call, actually like 2 other work calls. So I had like that meeting going on. I had a earbud in, and I was listening. And so I don't really do the closed eyes, thing anymore. It doesn't
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
I'm not trying to,
yeah,
no
yeah,
disrespect. It just does, it's
yeah,
not necessary for me.
yeah.
But I was listening and I'm looking at this meeting, I'm looking at Fred and I'm hearing Fred. And then I looked over and I was like, oh, and I just said, well, that's not Fred talking, which I've said before, which I've seen before, because it's pretty obvious, that's a thing you could see.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's not Fred talking. Just matter of fact, like, oh, I just knew that wasn't Fred, right?
Mm.
And then something in me said, well, who's talking over here? And I and I was like,
Shit.
and it was just it was like, okay. And then I went to back to the meetings and whatever.
Yeah,
And about 24 hours later, I was just sitting and I was just kind of just zoned out, evening, kind of sunsetty, just checking, just chilling out like when I turned 50.
yeah, yeah,
I had before, but it doesn't really like with my brain chemistry, it doesn't really, you know, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying I don't really have a profound, like I don't get
yeah.
laugh. I don't do anything. I just kind of it puts me in a little bit of a bubble,
Mm, mm,
slight bubble, but you know,
mm,
just being honest with you.
mm.
And then all of a sudden it was just something opened up and I was just like, oh my God, like it was just crazy, seeing like what it felt like I was actually seeing behind a curtain. I was completely
Yeah,
just blown away. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe, how wrong I had this, and then I started, I don't know, I'm saying it was just, I could talk more about that, but I was,
be
you
my
know,
guest.
yeah, I mean,
Whatever
the,
you
the thing
like.
I remember, yeah, I mean, it's even sometimes hard to remember because it wasn't me obviously there.
Mm,
But the biggest thing I remember, like when I had some of these stray thoughts, real because I've had the feeling of, I think you've said it before, everything is on, right?
mm, mm.
And I think I've heard you say that. And I've had a few brief moments where I recognized that that's what it was.
Yeah,
But for several hours, I was just like, it was completely, psychedelic. I just could not believe the resolution and the game was at that level. Like the
yeah,
game was at such a high level,
yeah.
overdone. Like it's overdone to an extent. It's gaudy, right? It's completely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's like
100%. Yeah.
it's just what? Like you didn't
Yeah.
have to like you don't have to go to this extreme, guys, right? Like you could do half this and everyone would be happy, right? I'm trying to say. And I was just like, oh, couldn't believe it. And I started just listening to Satsangs. I was listening to you, and suddenly all the Satsangs, all the things were completely different. I
Yeah.
was like, Oh, fuck. That's, I was like, that's what Terry's talking about, right? And I listened to one of yours, maybe within 48 hours or whatever. You had one that was called like seven or five something pointers. Like there's a video where you just were kind of, and you were kind of in a what's the word, pensive mood. You were a little bit kind of having a bit of a go at the people in the session, kind of taunting them with some of the pointers, right?
Was I?
Yeah, yeah. You were like, come on, come on. All right, try this one, try this one. You're like, yeah, okay, like the last one was about no hear, no one speaking, no one hearing, whatever it was.
Mm, mm,
And I'm going through this, maybe there's like 35, 40 minutes.
yeah,
And I was just like, oh my, every time, because I was just like completely like, yeah, dude, like, guys, what's the problem? What's the problem? It's so obvious. What's the problem? Oh my God, poor
yeah.
Terry, poor Terry. Like, I remember texting Fred. I was like, I don't know how you guys do this, man. This is great. I mean, like leading a bunch of blind people across like a minefield, right? Like just
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
yeah.
I was like, this is insane, And that was and also the fact that the pointers had double meanings, right? There's
Mm,
it's perfect, and maybe I'm gonna sound crazy, but like there's the pointer for the pointers. They're both pointing in the same way, but in two different ways. They work both non-dual and dual, right?
yeah,
Like they're completely at the same time,
yeah,
right next to each other, but two different, completely different things. Like I was talking yesterday with Fred, and we were talking about something. And I was like, the two things are right on top of each other but a million miles apart. Like you
yeah,
cannot, they're directly on top of each other.
yeah. You can't have one without the other. Yeah,
Yeah. Like they're right there. And then
yeah,
suddenly and they go,
yeah.
and you're like, and then, so for me, so I was pretty,
Even the dual and the non-dual dissolve.
one thing that happened afterwards is that for you were the first person, maybe I first started talking to you like 4 years ago or so, 4 or 5 now, maybe 4.5 or something like that.
Mm,
But the whole ings, the seeing, touching, feeling, like that was really the
mm,
intro,
yeah,
right? That was kind of what when I started looking at that, I was like, okay, something's wrong here,
yeah.
because I've like really, I know you're a musician, but I have pretty good hearing. Like my hearing, it's not my hearing, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've been
I do.
given
Yeah,
a bit more of a, on the
yeah,
spectrum type of, hearing, right?
yeah,
And I just started looking at it and I remember going, this is impossible. Just the sense of hearing alone. This is not the brain.
mm,
It's not possible. Just
mm,
flat, it's just not possible,
mm,
right?
mm, mm.
And the seeing and then that kind of the void, right? You close your eyes in the void. And I know where I am based on when I close my eyes, if the void is apparent or not.
Yeah,
Look where I am, because it's kind of like a good thing. I can check in to say, okay, where am I right now? Am I
yeah,
actually right? Similar with what I think also I know when I do that, I think it's called like the half step or whatever, when I'm slightly removed and I basically my arms get really long and kind of I'm looking down and going, what the hell? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So, and that happens like once a day basically, or once every other day, where suddenly I'm going, uh-oh, what's going on? I'm looking a little weird. I feel everything, the whole world looks a little weird here, like
Yeah,
fisheye lens type thing. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, but the thing that happened with the sense of being, that's what Fred calls it, but it's just the it's what it is, right?
mm,
Oh, I remember. So yes, let me two things.
mm,
Now it's all one thing. I can't tell you, like there is no separate seeing from hearing from touching from like I
yeah.
don't know how I ever interpret them as separate. It was instructive. It was instructive to like for me to focus my attention and say that, right?
Mm,
But now I can't actually understand how I ever thought they were separate.
yeah,
Do I sound crazy?
no, not at all.
It was, I'm just like right now, I cannot tell you what that if the seeing and the hearing and the thing and like I can't tell you what that is, but that's the experience. The experience has shifted.
Yeah,
I remember so in that initial kind of moment, I wrote down, I put it in the I am that book actually to save it, but I don't write anything down, but I wrote, am I the uh animating presence? It's like I can't remember, but I was like, am I the animating presence, right? And I
mm,
emailed Fred. I was like, Fred, this is what I'm being, this is what's happening. I'm typing out, am I
mm,
the animating presence? He gave me stuff. But that was where I was. I mean, I think that's it. Like the whole it's so vast to realize that there's nothing here, that I'm just this, every single thing is the whatever you call it, the life force, the universe, the whatever. It's just beyond everything, every blink,
Mm,
every single thing is being moved
mm,
outside of my
mm,
control. And it
mm.
goes farther and farther and farther than I can even, I don't even know, you know. Like
So,
I've got pictures on my fridge, right? Me at like 15, me at graduating college, whatever. I remember a couple of months ago. And this is before I don't want to say I woke up,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah.
Walking by the fridge and I looked at this
Good.
picture of me, this little fat little kid, and I was like 12 years old. And I was like, that's me right now. Like that's me looking at me right now. That
Yeah,
thing inside of me is the same thing that I'm looking at.
yeah,
Like there's no time here. It's
yeah,
the same thing that's happening right now is
yeah.
looking out through those eyes.
That doesn't change. Yeah,
It didn't change
yeah, yeah.
because it didn't happen. In a sense, because I couldn't tell you if it happened,
Yeah,
right? It
yeah.
could have happened,
Mm,
or it could be just somebody put a picture on my fridge and told me that,
that was
I
you. Yeah,
have a feeling, right? Because that's one thing I miss with it's so incredibly, it's ingenious, right? The technology is just,
Phew.
it, it's just like you can't even, because I'm given so I look at the vision's being sent to me, and then I see a picture of me on the fridge, let's say. The same time, I get a feeling of melancholy or remembrance, or oh right, the soft forms, like oh, or anger or sadness, or whatever it was. I'm being pumped that feeling simultaneously with the visual field with whatever.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to not take that? How am I supposed to get out of that? Right? Like, how are you supposed to get out? Right? Like, how are you? I was. Oh, now I'm remembering. So I remember thinking about it. It's like I've been in a prison, and let's say that you're in a prison, you got like a phone, and you can talk to the outside, but the prison guards are listening to the conversation, right? So the guy on the outside has the code to get you out of the prison, right? So but he can't say anything that's related to the code that's going to get you out. So you're just doing all these and that's what you're doing. You're constantly trying to send the signals through
Yeah,
to get the guy in prison to go,
yeah,
I think there's something outside of this prison.
yeah,
Because there's a guy talking, it makes no sense, but he's saying something. But you don't know that the guy is doing that because the prison, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to say, like, it's so vast.
brilliant.
And I was just, I couldn't, I was like, oh, I was just so thankful. I was like, oh my God, I never would have gotten this.
Yeah, that
Never would.
vast, that vastness. Look, I sometimes attempt, which I can't do, but I sometimes attempt to talk about the intelligence. Yeah. Now, where you've arrived, yeah, and I know you already know this, yeah, but where you've arrived, there's no time. Yeah, you know that, right?
Okay.
No good. There's no time. Yeah, that means,
Feels like time.
yeah, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but but in actuality, there's no time. Yeah,
Right.
there's no past, there's no future. Just it's always now. Yeah. Now, if that's fully comprehended, then check this out for intelligence. Then everything, not that there's a thing. So let me clarify that, but give me give me a bit of license here. Yeah, everything is bursting into existence, brand new and fresh, right now, and is not dependent on a previous now because there is never a previous now because it's always now.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a previous now, yeah, the intelligence would still be pretty bloody amazing, but that you could at least see the building of it, the cause and effect, if you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's just now and there is no cause, yeah, then everything's bursting into existence, brand new and fresh. That's one of my teacher's sayings. Brand new and fresh. Everything is bursting into existence, brand new and fresh right now.
Yeah.
And yet there seems, even though there's no time, there's no previous now, there seems to be a pattern. Now, get your head around that kind of intelligence.
Well,
Because
the way I try to what what comes through this thing over here, I see it as a multi-dimensional. It's kind of like a firework. Is how I ever see everything. It's just a fireworks that's like a single. You can say it's a single event in the now. It basically explodes through multiple dimensions, creating the apparent
perfect.
history, future.
Yeah,
But
perfect.
it's not. It
Yeah,
doesn't. But it's like a frozen thing. Like when you got like
yeah,
like
yeah.
shatter a piece of
That's why I
glass,
call it
piece of
on.
track.
Yeah,
Right. It's just like, and
yeah,
however it wins
yeah,
it's just like bam, it's all out, like whatever thing. And it could also, and I also think it changes because it changes in the now,
yeah,
right? It heals in the now just because you're not being fed the pain of the previous thing, right? So in
yeah,
some ways it's fading, but I don't even
yeah,
understand it.
yeah, yeah.
Clearly, I can't understand it, never could have.
Yeah, I mean, and even when I attempt to understand it, I'm still making up a story.
Yeah, yeah, it's all fine.
When I attempt to describe it, rather, I'm still making up a story. There's absolutely nothing that can be said.
You said this years ago. You said, I remember you said years ago, like 3, 4 years ago, talking about dinosaur. I think you said like dinosaur bones. You go,
Oh
yep,
yeah,
like, dinosaurs are like, I don't care what you say. They're put there right right now. They showed up like or whatever, like they just got there right then.
yeah.
It's like, what the F is this guy talking about?
Mm,
But I knew it. Like that's the thing. At least I like the feeling of intuition, which is also not mine, but you know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
feeling of resonance. And I was like, I knew what you were saying was true.
yeah,
Part
yeah,
of me, which was the gift, right? I was given that. It was a gift, right?
yeah,
And that gift to where the feeling came through. Hey, man, hold on a second.
yeah.
That crazy comment about the dinosaurs, something is in there. I don't understand, right? Because that's what kept me coming back. Is like something was going, dude, that's some crazy shit. But something is like
Mm,
not dismissing it, right? So what was
mhm,
not dismissing it? Well,
mm.
whatever that is or whatever it is, certainly wasn't a gym
That
doing that.
knows. Yeah, that knows. Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Beautiful. So
So, and yeah, go ahead. You say something.
I was just going to say, no, actually, I want to hear you speak.
Hmm.
I'm tired of hearing myself speak.
So, yeah, like just different things. Like, have you ever heard of a guy named Paul Hederman? He's been in non-dual for a long time. Guy,
Paul's a
California.
he's a dear friend of mine. I catch up with him once a week.
You do?
Mm,
Okay. So I saw Paul in person. He came to New Jersey and I
perfect.
went like nights. He went to like a 12-step thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Just like, because I started listening immediately. I'd come across his name a couple of times, but I listened to him. I was like, I don't know what this dude's talking about. And then after, a couple months back, I just listen to Paul like every day, like 2 hours a day, just on loop. And then
yeah.
I started realizing, and then he said it, like he says the same thing every time. For like 30 years, he said, different stories and different,
Yeah, but it's the same
that's
message. Yeah,
the same thing
yeah,
over and over again.
yeah,
And I'm just
yeah,
absolutely like completely, right on that. And I started realizing, because with Fred was a student of Sailor Bob. You're a Sailor Bob person. I was a Nisargadatta person, not through my choice, just through a book that was handed to me by a friend of mine 30 years ago. And I was trying to figure out. I never understood. Like, I didn't realize you were originally a 12-step thing. I don't think it
mm,
came up. I hadn't
mm-hmm,
realized it. So I
mm,
listened to one of your videos talking about
mm-hmm.
Fred was big time 12-step, big time living in the park,
Yeah,
alcoholic.
yeah,
And I'm like, well, clearly there's a pattern here, right? And I was trying to figure out. Now I've had problems. I haven't been drinking for 6 months. I still smoking pot, but I had a lifelong problem with alcohol. Now
yeah,
I wasn't living in the park,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
God. Not through any, not
yeah,
because I'm just thank God. But basically, it's been a constant thing on my back, right?
yeah,
Trying to deal. And I realized that really what it was its addiction to self. Like my addiction was to self and all the addiction stuff I'm hearing just because it was alcohol. It's the same thing. That's what the through line was. It was I'm gymming, as Paul would say, right? Selfing
mm,
all the time. And
mm,
there's still, so for me, right, so I was pretty good. A few times I kind of drifted out and it came right back. It was kind of like letting go of the life preserver. And I was like, okay, let me make sure it's still there. And I would like check in and do my stuff. And I was like, all right, everything's cool, right? And then I would say about 3 weeks ago, with stuff with my son really takes me out. Like drama with my son will completely just like someone throwing ice water on my face, completely go like I'm completely roots growing in the ground, completely like
mm,
solidified.
mm.
and I've been able to get out of it a few times, but I had a real like relapse, I would say 2 weeks ago, or even la like the last week, 2 weeks, and I've kind of wavered a little bit. Um, the thing that brought me back fully in the sense of being a bit more awake in this conversation was 2 nights ago. I was because I spent a lot of my time just negating, like
Mm,
I remember, for example, in that moment, I finally understood when you're saying realize what you're not,
mm.
um, in a profound like, oh yeah, like there was no other way through it. Like that
Yeah,
was all the prison cell. There was no there. That was the only way out,
yeah,
right? And it
yeah,
was clear, and I was like, oh, right, because that's like Fred says, uses the word oneness and things like that. I can't go there. I just stay with not two
yeah,
in the sense of that's all I can go for. I don't have any ability to understand anything beyond that. So I've stopped. Like I don't, different people have different words. It's cool, whatever. I'm just saying for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
I just stop right there because that's all I can vouch
Mm,
for.
mm,
That's all I know.
mm.
Um, yeah. So, but yeah. So like, for example, just giving example, some thoughts are happening. I'm just like going over something and whatever, this guy's an asshole or why did this happen or whatever's going on. And most of the time I'm just like, not true, not true, not true, because I know it's not true, but I'm still hearing the, stuff.
Mm.
And then I was sitting there with some thought, it just completely zoned out, like just doing things, whatever, and there's thoughts running. And then I heard some negative thought and I just said out loud, it's like, who's saying that? Who said that? Right.
Yeah, good.
I don't usually talk out loud to myself. I do more nowadays. I do actually say stuff into the empty rooms sometimes because I'm just
Sure.
having a laugh, right?
Yeah,
And just again, I just shut it down. It went all the way, like went like
yeah,
just right down. It was like just rang the bell, and I was like, oh my God, that was
yeah.
I fucking far away from that. Like I had
Brilliant.
completely because I have no memory of it. Like when I'm human, Jim,
Yeah,
the non-dual language remains, right?
yeah,
So I'm talking to people, and a lot of my language has changed, and a lot of my interactions, like road rage, a lot of things have dropped, but the drift is insane. Like the drift really was, kind of caught me with my pants down. That I have no control over the drift. I have no control, but all I was very thankful that something got me back.
yeah.
And I don't
Listen,
know if tomorrow, like it could be an hour from now, it could be,
yeah, yeah.
lost.
Well,
You
look,
know?
this backness that you're talking about, something got me back. Yeah.
Mhm.
Given, I have to use language, Jim, forgive me. Yeah, but
Yeah.
uh, given where you now are, okay. Now, okay. No matter what, just keep coming back. No matter what. You might get caught up a little. That's okay. Doesn't matter. But keep coming back. The this consciousness. Okay, take you a step further. This consciousness, this beingness, this awareness, whatever label we want to put on it, right? But this, yeah, it comes and goes. Like when you're in deep sleep, consciousness is absent. Conscious. I'm talking about. Let me clarify that. Being conscious of is absent.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So the consciousness, the beingness, the yeah, comes and goes. Now, if it comes and goes, it means it too is dualistic.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. However, yeah. So the doorway, let me call it that. Yeah. It's been given all sorts of names, gateless gates and so on, but just the doorway. Let's keep it simple. Yeah. The doorway is just here, but it's still the doorway. Yeah. There's a passing through Again, I have to use language, forgive me, but there's a passing through. But to pass through, you have to remain here. And the
Hmm.
passing through happens all by itself. Don't have to do anything. Yeah? So there's a lot of people arrive, oh, I'm here. And there's a big realization that happens there. There is, yeah. And a lot of people go, I've arrived. Yeah. And I deal with people like that all the time, because they keep flip-flopping all the time. They're here, they're not here. They're here, they're not here. They're here, they're not here. Yeah? Which is still a dualistic process that's occurring. Yeah. So arriving here, and you've articulated it beautifully today. Yeah. Arriving here, you absolutely know from here what you're not. There's no ifs or buts or doubts. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, there's a big, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the trick, I shouldn't call it a trick, but now the trick is to simply be able to just stay with this and want for nothing and expect nothing.
Hmm.
And that's all.
That's all.
Any chance you get, because you'll be caught up, if you're caught up in the world or you're communicating with your son or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But any moment that you can find where you're by yourself, yeah, just continually come back, come back, come back. And all I can say there, I don't like saying it because I've just asked you not to want for anything or not to expect anything. Yeah. But more is revealed. It's a little more that's revealed where you go beyond the duality of the consciousness and the beingness coming and going. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Nisargadatta used to refer to it as awareness.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's this consciousness. Boom. Now we're here. Yeah. Now stay with that. It's again, if I was to give out an instruction, I would say become one. Oh, and I know you don't like that one. I heard you say that a
No, no,
moment,
yeah.
but
No,
that's
no,
okay.
well,
Yeah,
there's no like, I'm just saying, I'm just
yeah,
giving you a,
yeah, yeah. I'm playing around too, but
yeah.
just become one. I have to use labels with the consciousness.
Hmm.
Don't merge with that. Just become one with that. Yeah.
One, let me just like to that, just give you some feedback on what you're saying. So, like, I was
Mm.
listening to Paul a couple of days ago, and he, I think, was quoting Ramana Maharshi, who he does quite often. And he has an expression he said a million times before, I think, but I wasn't really hearing when he goes, being ourselves reality, or something like that. It was something along, he said it.
Mm.
Does that ring a bell? Being ourselves reality?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
it was something, but and it was also the fact of the, in the time, right? So here I go, oh, well, I'm out of it, I'm in it. That is implying time. It is, well, I'm out, I want to get back, where clearly I'm not out of it because it's happening right now, right? But in the dream, it's very easy to create that separation because I'm waiting. I want to be back to being, oh, if I was only as awake as I was that night, February 28th, or blah, 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 blah.
yeah, yeah,
But it's just now, right? So
yeah.
I'm still presented with the fact, like I can sit there and say those words, like, oh, gee, I've lost it. Oh, I'm alive. But that
Well,
it
none of it's true, but yeah,
none of that, yeah, but none of it's
yeah,
true because how
yeah,
could it be true? Because
yeah,
the reality is it's just now, so
yeah,
therefore I'm not out of it.
yeah,
But it appears I'm out of it, and it
yeah.
appears I'm wanting to get out of this to get into something else. When in fact I'm not out of it. I'm just
Correct.
not particularly
Perfect.
super plugged into that. But it
Perfect.
doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But to the gym, it does because the gym is seeking a state that's not now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So in okay. So instead of going to the conscious of, just remain as consciousness.
Hmm.
That and keep coming back to that. Yeah. Whether your eyes are open, or your eyes are closed, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can even do it while you're driving. It doesn't matter. You know, it's a little more difficult when you're engaging with somebody, verbalizing with somebody. But just keep coming back. Keep coming. Look, you would possibly would have heard me say this before. Yeah, that as a seeming Jim or seeming Terrence, yeah, we constantly live in a state of being conscious of,
Yeah.
constantly conscious of thoughts, conscious of feelings, conscious of emotions, people, places, things, the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, blah, blah. A myriad of things throughout the course of the day. Yeah. And the instruction that I give, albeit a dualistic instruction, and it's a pointer, is to just be aware of consciousness only. And
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. Just keep
Right.
coming back to that no matter what. Now, this dualistic instruction that I'm giving you, because it sounds very dualistic to me, being aware
Hmm.
of consciousness, yeah. But now it's just one thing
Yeah.
compared to as a seeming person, I'm aware of every fucking thing that's going on, yeah. So the instruction is just be aware of consciousness and just keep coming back to that. Yeah. And even then, after a while, this instruction that I'm giving you, being aware of consciousness, yeah, this happens. Just by sitting here, this happens.
Hmm.
One. Yeah. But the doorway is this beingness. The doorway is this consciousness. The doorway is there. That's the doorway.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. The doorway is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But keep coming back to it. Wanting for nothing, expecting nothing. Just keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. Given what's occurred for you, yeah, that's the only instruction, if I was to give you one, that I have left. I have nothing else. I have nothing else. Yeah. Then, you pass from the consciousness, which comes and goes, yeah, to that doesn't change, that doesn't come and go. Yeah. That is always on as such. Even in deep sleep, it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't alter. Yeah. So just constantly keep coming back to just this. I'm using Zoom and it only gives me 45 minutes. Oh, it's okay. We've got 6 minutes left. Sorry.
Okay.
Um,
I have a question, just maybe shed some light. So I'm a big
try. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a big time sailor. Like I learned to sail when I was 35. I'm 56 now, but
Mm,
sailing took over my entire life because it was something I was good at.
mm,
I was good at it now. I realize it just, I'm just in a flow state. I happen to be good at that particular thing.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like hooked in, right? I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I'm very,
Yeah. Mm,
and I was good. And Jim has had a tough time with things, and Jim really got addicted as an adult to other men respecting me, to other people respecting me because I was a thing. Like, oh, that's Jim McNally. He's the
yeah.
best sailor in the thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it was like I never tried cocaine because I knew I'd be addicted or
Yeah.
cigarettes,
Yeah.
but I tried everything else. But but for me, that was like mainlining like whatever because it was like, oh, what I always wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's also caused me the most suffering, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just desperate to win, just out of control, trying to capture that. And I tell people, for me, for winning first place is breathing. That's
Mm,
just like, okay, I can go home and like
yeah.
have something to eat and go to sleep. Second place is like I've been run over by a truck. Third place is death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Forget about like fourth place. Like it just doesn't make sense, right? But
Yeah.
so after this, thing, I've been slowly distancing myself, but this year boats went in the water like basically middle of May. So I had 3 months without sailing and I was just like, I don't know if I want to sail anymore.
Mm,
It's all I did. It's like, I don't know if I can do this.
mm, mm,
I went back and the sailing started and some behavior changed, but when I get jacked in, like you put me in a sailboat, like I joke around, like I sound like you put me in my Honda Civic, a Ferrari pulls up at the stoplight, and this guy's revving his engine. I'm going to go, you know what I'm saying? In my 1.4 liter Honda Civic, right? Because that's what I do. The same way the stoplight is personal. Who put this fucking stoplight there? Who is right? This is like the experience, you know what I'm saying? It's out of control. You put me in a sailboat with just me jacked into like sensations of wind and this and all
mm,
blah, 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 blah. I go, I'm not there anymore. I'm completely whatever. And then everything with it happens as well.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
drive, the just like
yeah, yeah,
win, win, win.
yeah.
And afterwards, I've not been able to go. I leave the boat and I walk away. There's like 100 and some people there, all like partying, whatever. I'm not drinking, so that makes it a bit more difficult for someone like me. But
Mm,
that's not the real thing. I can do that. It's not a problem. It's just I just don't. I have this repulsion. I don't want to be in that anymore. And I
mm,
think that's one of the.
mm,
It's an like the pull on it because it's the sensation is amazing. Like even
mm.
though it's so I don't know, but that is I think one of the thing that's if you want to say identified or selfing or gymming or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That has been, and that is the, if it wasn't for sailing, I might be completely floating on a cloud of titties, so to speak, like, much more, like if there ever was a thing. But it's still, and I'm still going to try and do it to see if I can untangle that, but I don't know. I might just walk away and never do it again.
You
But
might, but who knows?
who knows? Yeah, I'm just saying
Like,
that's where I am.
yeah, yeah,
It's,
yeah. No, I understand. You're going to be moved as you're going to be moved, and it's just, it's all okay.
yeah, that's, I don't know, just because the pain, the suffering, it brings up the suffering to an extent that I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, you know what I mean?
Just keep negating that.
Yeah, it would be nice to find the joy, right? It'd be nice to not have it so self-centered, right?
Yeah, just the joy of the water, the wind,
That's
the everything,
that
just that.
it's absurd.
The love of
Like I
that.
get,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
When I'm there, I'm completely, this is, you're not talking to this Jim, you're talking to a different version,
I
you're talking to the
understand.
other guy, right? Because the other guy is like, fuck this, third place. There's 15 guys out there who would like chop their arm off to get third place. I'm like,
Yeah.
third place, here, take this fucking trophy. I don't want this
Yeah.
bullshit,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Horrific, right? It's
Yeah.
just so
And
that's
that
what,
that all may shift and change.
yeah, who knows? I mean, what
Yeah,
do I
yeah.
know?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, I'm not
Just
running the show.
That's it. Just keep coming back.